Welcome back. Well, hidden sugars in kids' school lunches could be damaging their health, and it's not the ones they buy from the cafeteria, but actually the ones they bring from home. Thanks so much for staying with us. I'm Tamsin Fidel.
And I'm Erin E. LeBeau. So a sandwich, fruit, and a juice box sounds like the typical lunch parents pack for their kids, but that midday meal could be loaded with unhealthy sugar, even the fruit.
Yeah, that's right. Celebrity nutritionist Dr. Daryl joining us live with some school lunch swaps that could lower your child's sugar intake. Thanks for being with us to talk about it.
My pleasure. Great to see you both today.
Always good to see you. All right, Dr. Daryl, tell us about the impact too much sugar, first of all, has on kids.
Oh my gosh, I mean, sugar is the most addictive substance. As Americans, we consume 130 pounds of it every single year, more than any other country, which is crazy. That equates to 38 teaspoons a day. So to put that into perspective, the most our body can metabolize is 6 teaspoons. So anything after that, it becomes a poison, a liver, and a neurotoxin. Yeah, and it's, by the way, it's worse with our kids, right? I mean, kids are waking up, they're having dessert for breakfast, and it's carrying into their school lunches. So ultimately, to get these kids off this sugar stress eating roller coaster, we have to kind of make it easier. It's not about deprivation, it's about adding in these foods and their healthy swaps at lunch that's going to make it easier for them.
All right, let's go ahead and get right to it. Let's talk about some of those school lunch swaps. We'll start with fruit because not all fruit is created equal when it comes to sugar, you say.
Exactly. I mean, I'm holding up this banana and we're going to swap this out, but you're probably saying, wait, bananas is a health food. It's a better food. It's got vitamins and minerals like magnesium, and there's probably 1,000 other things I could think of that's worse than this, but one banana has 17 grams of sugar. So in its place, we're going to swap it out for blueberries, which I call brain berries. They're loaded with antioxidants that's going to strengthen our kids' brains so they can focus at school. Blackberries and strawberries. Get this, guys, just 1 cup of strawberries is half the amount of sugar that we find in this banana.
What?
Wow. It's really, when you're thinking about it like teaspoons and stuff, it just, you visualize it much differently than when when you're just looking at the piece of fruit or whatever it is. So how do we satisfy that salty craving? Because that kind of satisfies the sweet one, but you also have that salty craving that kids want.
Right on. We got to ditch the chips. I mean, chips are what I call crap foods, C-R-A-P. And what that stands for is completely refined and processed. So we're going to swap out the chips. In this place, we're going to add in some crispy chickpeas. You can make these at home in your oven, or you could buy them in the grocery store. Or my favorite, kale chips. Kale chips, it's a nutrient-dense powerhouse. I mean, it's got antioxidants like quercetin, vitamin C for the immune system, minerals which lowers inflammation. Guys, they're easy to make. I mean, 300 degrees in your oven, just a few minutes. They taste great, they're crispy, and your kids are going to love them.
Oh, good.
I'm taking mental notes.
If you have the crispy stuff and you have that substitute, it feels good.
All right, so let's talk about what is sometimes the main meal, sandwiches. How can parents make it a little healthier?
Yeah, I mean, bread has wheat. I mean, it's literally one of the biggest offenders to your gut microbiome. It's going to cause leaky gut and dysbiosis. And get this, just 2 slices of bread is going to spike your blood sugar as much as a candy bar, which is nuts. So got to get rid of that stuff. And in this place, we got to have the grain-free wraps. So we bought a grain-free wrap from the grocery store. We have some avocado, which is what I call God's butter. We laid it with some hummus, some bell peppers, and we topped it with some broccoli sprouts. Broccoli sprouts are incredible because they're a neutral green. They don't really taste like green, but they're 30 times more nutritious than their vegetable counterpart and a very powerful anti-cancer food.
I love that. God's butter. I'm going to have to remember that. All right, finally, the drink. Juice boxes, we hear about those all the time. They're super, super easy, but clearly not the best choice.
No, I mean, fruit juice is loaded with fructose, which is, again, it's a liver poison. The average juice box has about 35 grams of sugar, putting us at that 6 teaspoon threshold. All right, so what we want to do is just swap that out for water. Yes, guys, let's keep it simple. Our kids need more water just like we do, but water's boring. I get that. So we want to make that water what I call acid kicking. And what we're going to do is we're going to slice up some lemons, some limes, some grapefruits. Those are going to alkalize your gut. They're going to give you energy, and it's a great way to keep our kids hydrated during a long day.
All right, so you've showed us the swaps, but is it okay for kids to indulge in the sweet stuff, every once in a while?
Yeah, I mean, my mantra is it's not about deprivation, it's about moderation. But the problem, guys, is that 90 to 95% of their diet is the sweet stuff. So ultimately what we want to do is just start to add foods that strengthen their bodies from the inside out. And what we're going to find as we use that add approach, it's going to outweigh all the negatives. It just takes a little bit more time that way, but it's going to work. It's successful that way.
I feel like if they don't get used to the sugar at a young age, and I know your children are in the kitchen all the time cooking incredible things and making drinks and smoothies, and if they get trained to do that at a young age, it sure makes it easier when you get to our age, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the key thing. Get in the kitchen, make it a game. I mean, we take out the Vitamix, the blenders, we're throwing stuff in there, and the kids love it. And when they make it, guess what? They usually want to drink it or eat it. So I think that's the key thing. Get them involved, and the more we do that, the more success we're going to have.
So true.
Sounds like a plan.
All right, Dr. Daryl, thank you as always for joining us. A pleasure to see you.
Thanks, guys. Great to see you both.
All right, and of course, you can follow more of Dr. Daryl's tips and see his recipes online at getoffyouracid.com. You can also follow him on social media at Dr. Daryl Gioffre and Get Off Your Acid.